Well, I'm episode 113 of the Nooner. 113 of these bad boys about to be in the can. My name is David Bradley, and this is the Nooner every weekday, Monday through Friday, Pacific Standard Time. I like to pop in here and deliver a little bit of a noontime nugget about sales, business, or life. Today we're going to be covering all three. But why? Why am I doing this every day? Man, why am I popping in here every single weekday? Karina, nice to see you. Thank you for being here. Why am I here? What's the deal? Okay. Motivation. It's like fuel. You run out of fuel. If you don't keep adding wood to a fire, what happens to your fire? Fire goes out. You don't keep putting gas in your tank, what happens? You don't keep putting food in your body, what happens? Okay? Motivation is the same thing. So what I like to do every weekday, Monday through Friday, Pacific Standard Time, if I'm not helping a client, I'm going to pop in here. I'm going to give you a noontime nugget, some piece of data or information you can take with you into the rest of your day, your week, your month, your year, your life. So today we're going to be talking about The Secret. Remember that book a couple years back? It was all the rage. Checks in the mail, vision boards. Is anything missing from that? I don't know. Actually, I do know, and we're going to talk about that today. What's the missing ingredient to The Secret, and why you may or may not be getting the results you think you should be getting, even though you're practicing it diligently. So who am I that I get to come here every weekday, Monday through Friday, and talk to you about sales, business, and life? Okay, so let me introduce myself to you. Again, my name is David Bradley. I'm a sales and marketing manager with Grant Cardone. I've been working with Grant for 5 years now. Grant's technology took me from barely surviving in sales to thriving in it. And so in 2011, I got this killer opportunity to come work with Grant, which means to come work with you and deliver this data to other people to help them become, as our VP of sales, Jared says, better today than they were yesterday. So that should be your goal too, man. What can I do to become better today than I was yesterday? So we're all on the quest to better ourselves. If that's you, if you're on the journey, then welcome and thank you. What we do in our company primarily is we work with individuals and companies alike. We help increase production, usually to the tune of 15 to 30%, simply by helping them find and then handle missed opportunities. So wherever there's missing opportunity, we want to help you handle that. If you take a look at, what's your reality right now, your potential's up here, how do we bridge this gap? Well, that's what we do, okay? So and if I can help you with that, feel free to reach out to me at any time. David@grantcardone.com is my email address. You can also call me direct, 310-777-0352. Two other things about me. I'm the author of a book called How to Stop Smoking Without Killing Anyone. I smoked cigarettes for 15 years. Tried to quit. Tried several times to quit. Actually failed miserably. Gum, patch, hypnosis, the whole 9 yards. Couldn't quite get it. But I did find a way to stop. And there's a huge difference between stopping and quitting. And that's actually the foundation of the book. It's called How to Stop Smoking Without Killing Anyone. But this book helps you kick any habit, especially the smoking habit. My tagline or whatever is how to kick the habit before the habit leads to you kicking the bucket. Hey, Lydia, nice to see you. So if you've got a habit that you're trying to kick, if you've got a monkey on your back and you need to get rid of that, feel free to pick up a copy of that book. StopDon'tQuit.com is the website. You can search it on Amazon, How to Stop Smoking Without Killing Anyone. Third thing about me, I'm the founder of a hashtag Rich Man's Gym. This is about home-based strength and conditioning for body, mind, and spirit. I don't believe you got to go to the gym to get in the best shape of your life. You can do that from home. You can do it in the garage. You can do it in the backyard. You can do it at the local park. You can do it down on the beach. Wherever you can lug a set of kettlebells or dumbbells or some, if you can find a big fat oak tree that you can hang Olympic rings from, that is your rich man's gym. Okay? So there's a blog on that, richmansgym.com. Working on a book. Hopefully I can have it up and ready and able to get out into the marketplace by the end of the month. No pressure. So today we're going to talk about The Secret. Who's read that book? I assume Bill's read the book. Lydia, have you read The Secret? Karina, Secret, you read it? Have you read it? It's, oh, you know what? Before I get into that, totally forgot something. My apologies. So in my company, we have 75% of what we do at Cardone Training Technologies is 100% free. I'll say that again. 75% of what we do is 100% free. And what I wanted to impart on you guys today is a example of that. So check this out. This is an email we got from a client. I don't know if this guy's giving us any money or not, but what he says is amazing. It's really cool. He says, my mother, guy's name's Chad. Chad says, my mother was working for a podiatrist as a receptionist for over 10 years and decided to leave her position to better her future. Although she told me she was scared, I told her some of the things I've heard from Grant, which is commit first, figure it out later. I then sent her a link to Grant's YouTube video, 12 Tips to Get Your Dream Job on YouTube, which we put up for free. She watched it 4 times. She left her job on February 29th, listened to Grant, and landed a higher paying job yesterday, March 2nd. Cost her nothing. Cost us time, creativity, and we got to help another human being. That's why we do what we do. I love it. Okay, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. That was pretty cool. So, The Secret. Who's read the book? The Secret, if you haven't read it, puts a lot of attention on this thing. In fact, it puts all the attention on this thing called the law of attraction. So everybody is familiar with the law of attraction. It became a huge buzz for a very long period of time. And it lays out, there's some very specific guidelines that you should follow or things that you should do to attract more into your life. And it really, for a lot of people, you hear the word luck. Well, he's just lucky. I don't believe in luck under that definition. I have a definition that Seneca is. I think if you find the ultimate source of that, it comes back to Seneca. Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Who's heard that? Okay, so you want to get lucky, you make sure you're very, very prepared, and then you need to get in front of opportunity. That's how you get luck, and that's how you create luck. So talk about that. That's the implication for me, is that if there's steps to take, luck is then something that you create. So the law of attraction basically says what? It says that like attracts like. We understand that what you think about is what you're going to attract in your life, that whatever you put certain energies out into the universe, that's what's going to come back, right? So if your attitude is off, how much else is going to be off in your life? And if like attracts like, and then how can we, what are some examples of that? Well, so in the words that you use, things that you say, right? I talked once about the words always and never. How you don't want to really, you want to be cautious with those words. If you put your attention on getting stuck in traffic, what do you think is going to happen? Grant talks about the guy who's golfing and he's getting all nervous about hitting the ball in the water, and what do you think happens, right? So if you begin to believe that you don't deserve a good relationship, what kind of relationships do you think you're going to attract? And that will apply to wealth, it applies to happiness, the whole thing, right? So, but on the other side of that, what happens when you are in a state of knowingness? Love at first sight. That's been true for many. You see somebody, you're done. Baseball players, right? Sometimes you've seen this where they know they're going to hit a home run before they actually step up to the plate. They know they're in a place of full knowingness. You ever been thinking about somebody and then all of a sudden they call, right? A cool, relevant, recent example of this is this maniac in the UFC, this man named Conor McGregor. He's got a fight this weekend. He's in a place of knowingness. He knows what's going to happen. He calls his shots, and more often than not, he makes the shot that he calls. Bill, everybody over there in the UK rooting for Conor McGregor, even though he's an Irishman. You guys, since it's the United Kingdom, you guys are pulling for Conor. What does he say here? World Book Day. Yes, it is World Book Day. I picked 10X Rule. I was going to do a blog on it. Thought it has been blogged to death by everyone, and now me. Well, good for you, man. Funny you should say that. Bill's ahead of me. You're in a state of knowing this, okay? So, look, here's another word that I want to talk about since we're in this whole law of attraction thing. Coincidence. Now, on the Nooner, we define things, okay? So, coincidence has a root word of coincide, which means 2 points connecting. So if I put a certain amount of energy into the universe about a certain specific thing, my mind tends to focus on that, right? You ever get in the market for a car and then everywhere you go, you see that car, right? Your mind will focus on that, okay? And the greater the focus, the greater the intention, the greater the coincidence, the more frequent the coincidence. Make sense? So there's no accidents unless you're Bob Ross, and then it's a happy accident, okay? So the thing is, though, that I want to talk about is like you put this good juju out in the universe. You know, you start thinking things. Napoleon Hill's got this great mantra or a rhythm you can say. It's, I attract to myself the forces I wish to use in the cooperation of other people. I love it. I've said it for years, and it works. It works all the time. Because I say it every single day, and I repeat it, and I think it, okay? But, man, there's something else that we just didn't get from the secret. And so I want to go a little deeper. I want to dig a little bit deeper with you guys together. So it brings me back to this guy named Wayne Dyer. Now, Wayne Dyer he's written 2 books I'll touch on real fast. It is World Book Day. Thanks, Bill. The first book is Manifest Your Destiny. And you've heard things. We talked about Napoleon Hill just a second ago. Thoughts are things. Ralph Waldo Emerson. A man is what he thinks he is all day long. Wayne Dyer. You become what you think about. Anthony Robbins. Energy flows where attention goes. Right? We can go back to the dawn of time and we're going to find that out. Now in the book Manifest Your Destiny, Mr. Dyer gives us 9 different spiritual principles that you can follow to bring about like a real permanent change. When I say bring about, I mean we're bringing about, we're attracting, okay? Real permanent change in your life, okay? But what you find though is that some of these things that you want to attract, some of these desires and wants, it's not about a boat. It's not about a house. It's not about Aston Martin DB11 that's about to come out. While that would be nice. Not really what we're talking about here, okay? So there is a spiritual path that is involved in this road to manifesting. In an article I wrote about it, it says you will be required to be introduced to parts of yourself that you've never known. So is something missing from the secret? Yeah. You got to make a connection to something beyond this world, this realm. You're going to find things that you thought were true to be completely false. Okay. You will have to reconnect to that very thing which brought you into being. Regardless of where you're at religiously, on a spiritual level, you have to reconnect to that power. Even if you're an atheist, I've talked about this before, you just got to connect to that piece that makes this wood solid. Because it's actually, there's more empty space in this wood than there is actual wood. Okay? Get a magnifying glass, microscope, there will be more empty space in this piece of wood. This solidity is a myth. It's not real. So you got to accept also, this is very, very important, because if you want to go beyond the secret, you got to get on this journey about meeting with your higher self. This is that higher self that's connected to that energy that makes this table solid. Okay? You got to reconnect to that, and that means you're going to have to start eliminating self-sabotage. Okay, so if you're taking notes, write this down. What are you doing currently to self-sabotage, to sabotage your creation, your attraction, and you're bringing into your life the things you want? What are you doing to do that? How are you doing it? Some people smoke. Some people drink. Okay? Some people got addictions. Some people just walk away. They ignore it. They don't acknowledge it. Okay? Some people are surrounded by the wrong people. Okay? So you got to clean out your past. You got to pave over your potholes. You got to get rid of the roadblocks, okay? But ultimately, you got to recognize that you are worthy of something greater. And for a lot of people, that's a challenge, to recognize that you have a deeper sense of worth, that you're worthy of more. Okay, so that's going to require some relearning. Now, that's you connecting. Okay, so Manifest Your Destiny talks about you connecting to that higher power through 9 spiritual principles. Okay, now we get into The Power of Intention, second book by Wayne Dyer, and the subtitle of that is Co-Create Your Reality. Now, if I'm going to make a couple criticisms of The Secret, the one thing that's missing, and I think they did it because they want to be politically correct and apply to everybody, nobody brings up God in that deal. They dance, like if you've seen the movie, they just dance around God. They don't go right to the source and don't say, hey, this is you connecting to God in a way that allows you to be as much of a creator of things as God. Why did they leave that out? So many people couldn't wrap their head around it, but it's the most important piece of the puzzle. So the road, so I'm just going over my notes. Sorry about that. The road to manifestation will require you to re-examine many an idea you grew up with about your place in the universe, who God is really, okay, and what Jesus might have been trying to tell us all along. So if you haven't read that book, The Power of Intention, dig into it, because the subtitle is, again, learning to co-create your world your way. Now, what does that imply, co-create? It means I'm doing this with somebody else. So one of the biggest myths that should be busted is that we are separate from God. Dude, that sucks, man. I don't want to be separate from God. I want to be a part of God. And I am, and so are you. We're all of the same energy. I like to visualize the Big Bang. So some scientists say that the universe is oscillating, right? So it expands and it contracts, it expands, it contracts. Every time it expands, it's the Big Bang, right? Maybe there's been more than one Big Bang. You know what I'm saying? So to me, that is the breath of God, if that's correct. Bill says, maybe for blasphemy reasons in other countries. Truth hurts, man. Some people have to grab a hold of it. And it doesn't have to be God. It could have been anybody. We could have gone with Allah. I don't care. It's the same. It all sounds the same to me. God. There's an Ah in it. God. Yahweh. Buddha. Krishna. Same dude. So if you commune or you communicate, and then that means you co-create with this higher awareness, this God, this intention, this force. That's right. Star Wars reference is coming. Get ready. You will find the very energy you need to work with. So that brings us to this. The Force. Star Wars. The Force is what gives the Jedi his power. It's an energy field created by all living things. It surrounds us, penetrates us, and binds the galaxy together. Okay, so that's God to me. I don't know about you, but that certainly sounds like God. And if you want to create something, thoughts or things, it starts here. So you gotta have it. You get the desire, whatever it is you want to create. Think about what you want in your life right now. What do you believe is missing? I'll touch on that in a second. Think about something that you want in your life. First of all, you gotta believe it, that it exists already. Because if you stay in a state of want, then you're just going to keep, the universe will give you what you are asking for, which is, I want whatever. You'll get more want. You won't get the actual thing. So you got to see it as if it's already present. You got to be in present time, because that's the only thing the universe is at. It's right now. What time is it? It's now. It's not 12:20. It's not 3:20. It's not 8:20. It's now. Time is now. So look. In Star Wars, the Force is the thing that allows the Jedi, like you see them do the Force push, and the person or the object, right? Or they attract their lightsaber. Okay? But that'd be cool if we could do that. Anyway, so how are you, if you take that analogy though, I mean, what are you attracting? What are you bringing in, or what are you pushing away? Okay? So You got to be open to it, but you have to work with it. This force, this God, you got to be in commune with it so that you guys can create what you want to have in your life. What you guys do it together. Bill says deep. Yeah, it is, man. But what's the missing ingredient? So I'm going to come out of the depth right now and just get simple with you guys, okay? So you need a mindset that brings in things, that attracts stuff, right? You got to have your mind right. You have to. But what's missing? Because if I just go sit on a rock and visualize $10 million in a bank account, will I get $10 million in a bank account? What are the odds of that? Even if I'm in connection with my higher power. Nothing's going to happen until I do something. You have to take action. And that's the big thing that The Secret just totally skipped. Action. Massive in action. Okay? The 10X rule. 10X rule is about two things. Thinking big, which The Secret got. They got that part. Okay? And action. Now, Grant says in this book there's 4 types of action. So it is National Book Day. So we're to our World Book Day. So, told you were ahead of me, Bill. Okay? 10X rule, right? There's 4 kinds. There's the right action, there's the wrong action, there's no action, and then there's massive action. Powerball, look, man, if you don't buy a ticket, though, you got to take action. You got to get off that rock. You got to get in the car. You got to go down to the local liquor store, and you got to buy a ticket. Okay, so the law of attraction is one step, but you have to take some action to go meet it. You got to meet you got to meet it halfway. Okay. If you're co-creating, then you're connecting to spirit. You guys are working together on that, but the spirit is the spirit. You are in the physical plane. You got to do something. You got to build, create, call, hustle, move, drive, push. Okay? Look, so I'm going to draw you guys a picture. This is Grant's success formula. Triangle, okay? I don't expect to be able to read this. Attitude is the base of this pyramid. Approach, action. This is what you need to create real success in your life. This is the secret. Okay? Attitude, approach, and action. You feed one of these things, this whole thing grows. But nothing's going to happen. Nothing until you take some action. You get your head right, you get a good approach, but you do nothing about it, nothing happens. Okay? You get hungry for a pizza. If you don't pick up the phone and call for it, you don't take the action, it's not going to show up. Pretty rare that it actually shows up. So, that is the missing ingredient. Think about that. I'm out of time today. So what I want you to do, make sure, number 1, your attitude is on a place of creation, co-creation, that you're connected to the higher power, whoever it is to you. Could be God, Allah, Buddha, the Force. Doesn't really matter. You got to connect to him or her. Step 1. Then you got to do the right things. Okay? You have to do the right things. And then thirdly, you got to do it a lot. Massive levels of action. Okay? So that's your 3. That's the success formula. It's not my formula. It's Grant Cardone's formula. It's the formula he's been using for the last 30 some odd years to create success in his life. It's what I'm doing right now. Anytime something's out of whack for me, I ask myself, where's my attitude? How's my approach? Am I doing enough? Okay? The answer is in one of those 3 things. So that's your nooner today. James, thanks for coming in late. Appreciate you being here. If I can be of service to you in any way, shape, or form, if I can help out, give me a call. 310-777-0352 or email me, david@grantcardone.com. I'm on the Twitter, @DavidRBradley. Appreciate you hanging out with me this afternoon. This has been episode 113 of The Nooner. We'll see you tomorrow. Open floor tomorrow. Not sure what I'm talking about yet, but we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here. Be great. There's nothing else.